The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles was written in the 20s, 30s, something like that. And I was living in Boston, Massachusetts at the time, and this was in YouTube was first coming out. There were like a lot of things that I was into. Maybe not even YouTube. It was LibriVox, and it was like the first. Like there was all of these audiobooks. And first I got into James Allen, and then it was this book called The Science of Getting Rich. And at that time, I had like two nickels in my pocket. So I was all for The Science of Getting Rich. So I would take my walks in the park, listen to this book, and man, I tell you, it was a weird situation after listening to this book that kind of threw me off the book. It was a good thing and a bad thing. I ended up getting a $10,000 settlement leaving Boston and kind of starting my spiritual journey like after reading this book. So essentially I thought this book was like a good luck charm, and I didn't really get into the nuts and bolts of the energy of what was being said in the book because I felt like the science of getting rich was going to be an easy process. And when he starts the book off, he's in it talking about how easy it is. And if you was to get some money from reading a book, you would actually take that little bit of information, that little bit of money that you had, and kind of go off to the deep end with it. However, now that I kind of dealing with my spiritual foundations, I decided to crack open the book again and look at it with new eyes. And it was a completely different book. I used to think of spirituality when I first started off as just straight up hocus pocus, mumbo jumbo, magical, wallakazam. I never thought that it was an actual progress or understanding or a subtle world or a relationship with the non-physical energy that would be my sustaining to my financial life. But as I've done my rituals over the years, especially during new moons and things of that nature, I could have nothing and end up with tens of thousands of dollars. And that's mainly because of this book. And it's a very simple formula. It's not no cap or not no lie. I put out like I'm the type of person that just was born with dust, right? I never thought of myself as like a person that could do anything but be a worker. I just thought I could be a laborer. Like that was my job description. You feel me? So the fact that in a matter of 4 years, I've been a well-reviewed author and made a lot of money selling books. I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that this book works. But the reason that this book works is a simple formula, and it's not like hopes and prayers and wishes. So I did a whole mind map. If y'all can see my screen, I did a whole mind map of the book, but I'm not going to give y'all all of that because I ain't going to do y'all time like that. But I'm gonna do a summary. So first thing that I want to bring forth about this book when you read it, if it gets you to a point, as Shika was saying, where you move into the metaphysics, you got to you got to tune back and look at it again. Maybe pull out a dictionary or do something different. This book is realistic and or practical, meaning that it's pragmatic. So it is down to earth. It is very much dealing with the bare bones that if this worked in 1920, it'll actually work in 2021. The same way if you put four sticks down and put a flat board over it, you got a table. In 1920 it was a table, in 2021 it's a table. So the science of getting rich is that. And essentially, if you want to get rich, because the opposite of wanting to get rich is wanting to be in poverty. And nobody wants to be in poverty. So essentially, the science of getting rich is just a normal way of life. But you got to think about it in these terms. The first thing that I'm paraphrasing and cutting through a lot of bullshit for y'all. We going right to the source of the concept of what he's talking about. I think it's in my earlier notes. He talks about it so much, right? But I'm gonna give y'all a simpler concept of it. This thinking stuff, this material, this environment that exists for which you could utilize and put your thoughts on and all of that. He's talking about chaos. And if you look up the understanding of chaos, it's not disorder, it's not craziness, it's not like a bunch of weird shit. Chaos in its etymological sense is the substance for which all things are made of, right? And realizing that everything that's being made, like in the 1920s with Rockefeller and all of that, buildings, houses, cars, fossil fuels, oil, nuclear, reactive, whatever you name, when you break it down to its basis, you're talking about carbon, chaos, the root of all existence. And this is for every single person. So when he gets into the variations of it can't be in this, you can be in this environment and be rich. You could be poor and live right next door to a rich person because the poor person is not utilizing chaos. They're not imprinting the fact of, I know I can be rich because it's a science to it, right? You would have to, the same way you never put on your shoes and say, well, I don't really agree with the fact of putting on my shoes and have all of these like abstract thoughts in reference to putting on your shoes. Your shoes is either on or off because it's a science to it. Being rich is that same science. So if you have it towards your mind that I'm going to do the things that allow me to become rich, that's a very natural thing. But essentially, if we don't know this, that's why he spends like the first 13 chapters going in on this actual point, and then he flips the script, but it's all inclusive. To want to build a house, you got to have the thought of the house, and you actually got to get some wood, some cement, some drywall, right? But you still got to be spiritual and metaphysical to imagine that this empty space is going to be a house. So within you looking at an empty space, you see a house. Now, if you vague about it, what kind of house is it? I don't know. I just want a big, pretty house. Contractor, can you make me a big, pretty house? The contractor gonna look at you kind of weird. He's gonna be like, you got a blueprint, you got a schematic. That blueprint and schematic is your business, is your idea, but these are more of the mechanics of fleshing this idea out. To get into the realm of tapping into chaos, you cannot be worried about what another person got. And when it comes down to what has happened this week in reference to IG and Facebook, essentially, if you're not doing business on Facebook or if you're not doing business on IG, you are a consumer. And if you are a consumer, that also means you're an observer. And within your observation, you cannot feel good about that. I don't care who you are or what you actually thinking that you're doing while you're online. However, you can have a creative mind and utilize your same time on these platforms, providing a valuable service that people need. It's not a million people in this live. It's 20 people here. So that's 20 brilliant ideas waiting to be hatched. But before you hatch that idea and press that idea, create the blueprint, create the schematic, and also be creative with it. Don't worry about like it's a billion people in the world. If you think that your neighborhood and your friend circle is more important than you impressing your idea, your schematic on how to get rich, then that's a mistake that you're making. And essentially it's putting you in the competitive mind because the competitive mind is saying that there is enough. So there isn't enough. So if you imagine that there isn't enough and then you say, I want to get rich, like what you mean you want to get rich? You gonna come, they got a big pizza of money, they gonna cut you off a slice. So how did that actually work? Essentially, you got energy within your mind. You got ideas within your mind that you can begin to imprint on this chaos energy. The same way a person done created, I was walking at the mall the other day and I seen a vending machine. I said, I'm hungry, y'all. I said, I'm thirsty all my life. I pulled out my money, not even looking what's in there. Once I looked and seen what's in the vending machine, it's eyelashes, it's hair weave, It's pins for the it's all types of cosmetics. I'm like, whoa. Somebody had to be creative enough to implant that mind, that idea, because somewhere that ain't exist for life. Y'all gotta be shitting me. Y'all talk that been out hood. No, that's some new stuff. Somebody was creative enough, had an idea. They don't want to go to the beauty salon store. They don't want to go. They want to spend money with their people, but they ain't have enough money for a building, or they want to distribute their products. The stores wouldn't buy it, so they went and made them a goddamn vending machine, put all of their products in the vending machine. Somebody, first of all, they had the idea, they knew it was going to benefit people, and they acted on it. Right. So chaos, and they wasn't saying, well, let me be mad. Like, what is no sense of being mad about it. There's no sense of being angry about anything in relation to chaos energy. So it's more purely centered on the creative mind. But let's hammer home on that, because this is a very important part of it. Chaos, creative mind, impressing your idea upon this substance. Your creativity is equated to God, equated to art, right? It is the creative mind, not the competitive mind, that always shine. It's light. They ain't spell that right. Its light is the brightest. There is more than enough love, happiness, wealth, and abundance for each of us. I dare you to travel from your city to another state, and I want you to fathom all of the empty space that you have driven by. You drive by more empty space than you drive by occupied space. So what are you imagining? There's still farms and food and abundance of cars and homes, and you live in a world of abundance, but yet and still you don't feel like you have access to it. When you focus on your potential or your accomplishments while at the same time wishing joy and prosperity to all. So when you competitive, you worried about what happened, or you get this kind of like this kind of evil streak. Who knows where that comes from, y'all? But it exists, right? People don't want you to be as successful as you want to be. But you could go tit for tat with people like that, or you could go within yourself and saying, if I follow these rules, I don't have no choice but to be rich. There's no way that a person who need eyelashes, who don't want to go to the store, that want to support a young sister that's enterprising, gonna walk past that and not purchase. Even if I don't want to wear the lashes, I'm still so into that business because I understand the heart, I understand the intent. So the science of getting rich is sort of like that. So chaos is creative energy. Fighting over what's already been created is competitive and worthless. So everything that is existing in the world represents Malkuth. It represents the created. Everything that is to come into the world, you have a co-creative, active participation with what is coming into the world. The new businesses, the new homes, the new vehicles, the new clothes. You have access to all of that. But what is the energy that brings about that action? Chaos. But chaos is not craziness and disorder. When I say chaos, the first thing that you're going to think of is disorder, people yelling, people running up and down the street. But that's a misnomer. That's to take you completely out of the word. Etymology is very important in things of this nature, because when we reference chaos, we're talking about the state of existence before all of creation, where a person might have to study books and books and books and books. I promise y'all, family, all you got to do is close your eyes and begin to create and see your clear vision. What happened with me? Astrology book. It just like boom, it hit me. But I didn't just put out the book in the same day. I just kept meditating on it, kept meditating on it. And then at the same time, I was like stressing out about a publisher, so much so I was stressing out about the publisher So much so that I was like, damn, I'm not even going to be able to put out the book because ain't nobody going to publish my damn book. And something just had me just searching online. I just woke up and I just started searching online and I seen Amazon KDP. And I was like, damn, how much that costs? They said it's free. I said, what the hell? No way. And from there it was on. I ain't need a publisher. I ain't need no money. I could just put out the books. And then the book, I'm not gonna say it's the greatest book ever, but at this point, people buy the book every single day off of Amazon. Every single day I wake up and I make money off my book, and I be just sitting here talking shit to y'all, tossing my kids up in the air. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to make money and be around my children full time. That was the first thing. But then I was like, astrology book, astrology book, astrology book. And then it was like, you need a publisher. Then something happened. I ain't need no publisher. Then it's like, you need money. Then something happened. I ain't need no money. And I just was helping people help themselves. Very simple stuff. So the energy to connect with the chaos. See, if chaos is disorder, if chaos is crazy energy, then why would you have gratitude for that? But if chaos is the spiritual root of all existence and creation and manifestation, wouldn't you essentially be happy as a motherfucking lark about that shit? So certain energies and instances when Akira's at work or something is happening where a person is not really in tune with the fact that reading a book and doing the work is something that is a disconnect between you and your manifestation, and you will search your whole entire lifetime trying to figure out what that shit is. And let me tell y'all what that shit is unequivocally. You have to be grateful for your God force energy. I don't know if y'all remember me talking about it in my last video where I was just sitting there like, sometimes I just be sitting in the car and I'll be like, Kyrie, I just love you so much. And sometimes, family, I can be like that and I have $2 in my bank account. And then I wake up and it's $7,000 in my bank account. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like that. I like that number. But it always starts with the fact of loving this chaos energy. In a way that I loved it with my children when we was living in Ohio, which my son was telling me, he's like, I miss Ohio. I was like, miss Ohio for what? He's like, the mounds and the nature walks. And I'm like, okay. I thought I had you. You had me, son. Touche, my guy. But yes, because being at the mounds, going on nature walks with my family, that essentially, I'm not even going to say that that was our most abundant time, because in this season is our most abundant time, but that really got the ball rolling. Being in nature, having these ideas, I tell you, we would load the car up, go to a nature park, and while we walking through the park, damn sales is going bing, 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 bing. And me and my wife looking at each other like, okay, this is what we got to do to generate money. Because essentially, to a person on the outside, you're just wasting time at the fucking park. You could be getting money, you could be doing all of this. But see, we learn as a family to appreciate the nothingness, the void. Essentially, when you go to a mound, you ain't really seeing shit but a hill. So I can say mounds this, mounds that, and people can see me selling books. People can see us traveling all over the country and be like, well, you a crazy nigga talking about these mounds. I went to the mounds, ain't nothing happened. Don't matter if ain't nothing happened. You got to start acting like something happened. You got to start acting like, if I wish this, if I put my energy into this, it's going to work. But it don't end like that. We can still add some points. By uniting yourself with this ancient chaos energy, how do you unite with this ancient chaos energy? By feelings of deep love and gratitude. What's the issue? This deep love and gratitude is waited for goddamn Mr. Right, is waiting for Mrs. Right. That deep love and gratitude energy that you feeling within your being right now at every moment, you like, damn, who can I give this shit to? I ain't got the right person. My boyfriend acting up. I ain't got a boyfriend. Wait a second. You need to rewind it and think about it. How much love can you pour into yourself? That is a question that you got to really ask yourself. And then Okay, I'll give you a better question. If you're taking notes, really take notes when I ask this question. How would you feel if you could create anything? You probably would feel, you would feel fucking great. You would feel the deepest love and gratitude for yourself. Now imagine if you do not have that and you're trying to figure out what to do with it and you've given it to boy after boy. Let's keep it a buck. You've given it to girl after girl. And I'm going to tell you, I'm 37 years old. That is never going to be the way to go. Even within my relationships, I got a relationship. I have to remind myself that the feelings that I'm looking for from my wife is the energy that I need to have for myself. And that creates something very, very clear. But Charlotte Clark has a quote in reference to gratitude that helped me help y'all understanding its power. Because y'all can say it's some shit online, wake up and write down the 5 things you're grateful for every day and watch your life change. You would hear that shit, right? And then you would be like, one ear out the other. Let me be stressed out over what I don't have. But I'm still trying to tap in though. It's going to be hard. You need to be grateful for all of the energy that you already are. And I'll do y'all even better. If y'all talk to me, I'll be telling y'all all of the bee's knees about yourself. Y'all must think that I'm all cap. Y'all think I'm Mr. Cap a lot. I can tell. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, you're the reincarnated goddess. You be like, yeah, that's for sure. Huh? You know, that's right. And then, life come and it's like, Hood must have been capping when he said that. He was just saying that to make me feel good. But if you are the reincarnated goddess, are you grateful for that fact? And if you are grateful for that fact, how grateful are you for that fact? Gratitude, I've observed that gratitude to be a principle, a science, a pragmatical, simple aspect to life that bears the smallest share in the hearts of those where it ought to be the most strongly resident. So that I begin to imagine one half the world don't understand the real etymology of the word. So only a small percentage of people have gratitude, but the most people in the world, they don't even know what it is. They wouldn't even know even the purpose of being grateful. Because if I tell you, write down the 5 things you need to be grateful for every day, you ain't even going to do that shit. Let's keep it a buck. Because you don't understand the implication or the purpose for being grateful. You rather be stressed in an anxious energy because that actually feels good, but it really don't feel good. You see how confusing shit could be? But to resolve it simply is to be grateful for your goddess energy, grateful for how easy it is to be rich, and not be in a space where you worried about what you don't have. So essentially, if you could digest what I just said, absorb what I just said, this creates the most drastic mindset change ever. It becomes the ultimate thing. It makes life so simple to where you're grateful for your chaos energy. So from your gratitude and chaos energy is a simple and clear vision. As you work through the vision, you still might have 2 nickels in your pocket. This is from experience, y'all. I've been having a rough couple of weeks, but I've been working on some things. I ain't even tripping. And why would I expect money and I ain't even put the thing out for which I'm putting out? It's going to come once I put it out. But if I put it out half-assed, that's not a clear and simple vision. But one of the parts that get missed out, and I know we want to be in the marketplace, but we don't want to be in the marketplace because we don't got a business. We want to trade goods for services, but we ain't set up a LLC. We ain't set up an S corp. We don't even got a sole proprietorship. Got $5,000 in the bank, $10,000 in the bank, but don't got a business. So I'm gonna just tell y'all the truth. When me and my wife got together and we decided we're going to be a serious relationship, we started an LLC. in both of our names. We had no business ideas, we had no business prospects, but we had love in our hearts for one another. Lo and behold, I start writing a couple books. Hey, babe, where's that LLC paperwork you had up in our folder where we have all of our pertinent paperworks that we could then incorporate, open up a business account. Now the money coming in, now we can get loans and credit and things of that nature to do business. So you may not have a business idea, family, but you got thousands of dollars in the bank. In New York City, which probably got the highest fees, it costs $300 to start a business. Probably more because of inflation, 2020. Let's just say $500 to just get the paperwork of an LLC. You don't have a business idea yet, but you don't need a business idea to start an LLC. But you do have to be in some form of business just in case that business idea comes. So developing a business idea, if you don't have it, is because you haven't been grateful for the fact that you can create the business. Once you develop an idea of being grateful for having a business idea or a specific way to increase your finances, maybe you don't want a business, maybe you want a job, maybe you like your job, but you want to raise to whereas you can travel 4 times a year and you'll be satisfied. Well, start to be grateful for the fact that you're traveling 4 times a year. So if you're not grateful for it, then you're not actually believing the fact that these things are a reality. So very simple, you're grateful for the fact that your shoes are ergonomically designed with shoelaces and shoe outlets, and you can tie your shoes up very tightly to your shoe, and you can walk up and down the street or get inside of your car. But say, for instance, your shoelaces was broken. Now your shoes is dragging and flip-flopping and things of that nature. Now you pissed off. So essentially you grateful for the fact you're just not actually acknowledging you grateful for the fact that you're able to tie your shoes. You're not stressed out about it because you for sure would be stressed about it if you had to go to work and you didn't have no shoelaces on. That would be a real problem, especially if you had to walk around all day. So you are grateful for your shoelaces. It's an energy. Same way, it's a certainty about the situation. You know that when you put your shoes on and you tie them motherfucking laces up, I do a double knot on my shit. Boom. I'm good for the whole day. When I get home, I just untie them joints and it's Gucci. That's a level of gratitude. Whole day, I ain't never worried about my shoes falling off or flip flopping because if they was to do that, it would really put a damper on my whole entire day. So I'm using this as an analogy in reference to your ability to be grateful for your ability to create. Because essentially, if you're not actively moving in a business, in a ritualistic, I mean, not ritualistic, pragmatical, maybe ritualistic shit, your rituals in reference to increasing your business, so forth and so on, you got the business, you know the business idea, you know the people that's going to help. So you active in this. If you're not moving towards this, you literally waiting for money to fly from the sky. And I'm not saying that money can't fly from the sky. I'm saying if money does fly from the sky and you grab all of the money that you can, that is not a scientific method of being rich. So essentially, you read in a book, hoping that by the time you read it and understand it, will put you in the position, the location, the coordinates of the exact points where money would fly out the airplane, and you could collect close to 500K and be rich for life. The book is not written in that order, nor does it make any claims to do so. So, in order to receive what is yours, you must be active within the market. This is a difficult claim because people are not going to be grateful for all of the success that they're going to experience in the market because they've never been taught it. That's where the value of the book comes. Because now you are grateful for your business that's going to be successful, and this is how you move, even if you have to go to work tomorrow. You know, on your days off, you can file paperwork with the state, get your LLC. You know, when you get off work, you can download Skillshare. I'm telling y'all, I'm blocking everybody in 2022 that do not got Skillshare. No way you taking anything seriously if you can't spend $16 a month on an online school that basically teach you anything that needs to know about businesses, web design, designing photos. I've learned how to use Photoshop. I learned about using this mind map, get my YouTube page off the ground, doing videos, all types of shit I've learned from Skillshare, $16 a month. You may not know how to accomplish the thing that you need to accomplish, but you can learn it with gratitude. You know how happy I am to learn some shit that's going to be used in my business immediately. No middleman. I don't got to sign up for nobody's high ass course in reference to me not learning shit or go to nobody's funky ass lecture, of which they mumbo and jumbo me to death. If you need to learn something, you can learn it, but you got to be active in that pursuit. And since we're in this train, we understand we feel good about our chaos energy. Thus, we create our business, we create our idea. Everything we do is FUBU energy. We end the chaos, creating our business, feeling great about it metaphysically. But then we don't just, so say for instance, you got a business idea. Say for instance, you don't got a business idea, but you ain't did no research on how to classify your business on what is a good option for you. S Corp, LLC, sole proprietor. You haven't even done no research on the words that I'm even referencing, but you say, I want to get rich. But when you need money, you'll go fill out a job application because you're going to need money one day if you're not actually thinking on how to grow your money every single day. So a person might look at me like, why you put out videos every day? Well, did you ask Target why they open their business why do they open their business up every day? Or you just assume that every time you move, money is being made? You got to start thinking about it like that. You might think that knowledge is the thing that you need to get. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential. Action is power. In order to receive what is yours in reference to the science of getting rich, there's billions of people in the world. If you have the greatest idea and you do not act on it, you essentially put yourself in a space of waiting for money to fall out the sky. You did all them rituals for money to fall out the sky, and now you think you don't got no ashe because you never seen a Brinks truck explode. To refine this vision, to make sure that your business is a #1 success, even if you're not able to do it, you at least have to have the intention of helping people in a valuable way. Even if another person might not view it as valuable, if they view it as valuable, a natural hair person might say, well, Hood, why didn't they have a vending machine with cocoa butter? Probably because if they had a vending machine with cocoa butter, they'll be in the homeless shelter. Maybe people want bundles and eyelashes and eyelash pins. And since people wanted it and they ain't want to go to the beauty supply store, they opened up a vending machine. And they had the vision and they felt good about it and they put action into it. They didn't get the dusty vending machine. They painted it pink or got it done over in pink and they put fluorescent lights in it. It was beautiful. If I needed some damn eyelashes at that moment, guess what my ass would have been doing? I'd have been like B7. Yes, the long ones. The ones that look like, y'all know I can't help myself sometimes. If you attempt to help people through your creative mind, you will be rich. Let me rephrase that. If you attempt to help people through your creative mind, you will be rich. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. My personal formula for success is helping other people be in a better position. For years now, I've made it my business to help people. Now, the thing of it is, I can't help you more than you want to help yourself. So I'm going to still be me. I'm going to still have my intentions. Like, you could sell Coca-Cola, people will buy your Coke, pour the Coke out, and then turn it into a crack pipe. You can't be mad at the people who created Coca-Cola for that. Their intentions was pure. They making Coke with cocaine in it, right? All right, we definitely towards the end. So to surmise, being active and grateful for your soul or your chaos energy is the gateway to being rich. Are you actively grateful for your soul? Like, do it move you to the point? I'm telling y'all, I be always, it's a point where I take a left on 9 Mile. It just overcomes me. Like, I'll be like, damn, it's that feeling again. Cause I be going to work and I'm not going to nobody else's job. I'm going to my own office and I'm going to it. I'm getting to my own bag. I feel a sense of deep love and gratitude for everything that I be experiencing, and everything in my life ain't even perfect for real like that. But for me, I just feel this sense of love about myself because that's been pulling me up and out of shit my whole entire life. So, summarizing further, by acting out of gratitude and also knowing you cannot be truly rich in a vacuum. You want all of this money to fly out the sky, enter into your bank account so you could escape from your negative choices, essentially. But when you start to look at the world and people need shit every day people wake up and spend money. This is just a fact. And the fact of you not entering into that thought sphere is in reference to you, because people have supported the fuck out of my small business. If I didn't create the site, nobody would have supported it. If I didn't have action to go to Shopify and say, okay, Colombian Exchange. Quick story, I had Colombian Exchange for a whole year before I even made money off of it. I was losing money off of Colombian Exchange and it was $30 a month. So I kept the site going for a whole year. I started making 6 figures for my site once, like, like basically once COVID hit, but it wasn't because of COVID. I just got good friends that helped me out. And I just decided, like, boom, oh, I do got this Shopify that I've been wasting money on. Let me just start running shit through that. Started taking that seriously. So you got a lot of shit. If you anything like me, you got everything in your vicinity. You already put yourself in a position to win. The metaphysics of it is the level of gratitude for the whole outcome of the situation. So that gratitude don't have you kicking your feet up. That gratitude have you putting a little extra energy into the shit. Maybe staying up a little later if you got to work to bring about a different reality for yourself. So every day you waking up with a sense of purpose. And that purpose ain't for you to be rich. That purpose for improving men and women's lives, right? So simply, final summarization, understanding your purpose, being persistent in that purpose, and being 100% grateful for the fact of being persistent in your purpose. It's like a revolving door of goodness. So I'm trying to get what y'all thinking about my little breakdown of the book.